The paper I'm using today is locally sourced, mid-priced 100% cotton 300 GSM watercolor paper. The paint is Mijello Gold Class Mission watercolor. I'll also be using a variety of brushes, and I'll display the names on the screen the first time each brush appears. Now let's get started. Firstly, give the background a wash. Then I'm adding some grain here and there to the paper in a very flexible way. There's no need to start painting from one end to another in a specific order. Just keep in mind, don't add the color too evenly and try to leave some blank space. I'm adding some darker green at the bottom and around the sides of the paper. As the paper gets drier, avoid adding extra water, otherwise you might end up with unpleasant blotches. This video above explains why unwanted blotches occur, and feel free to check it out if you encounter the same issue. We can just wait until it's spun dry, or we can speed the process up with a hairdryer. Once it's dry, we can just add another layer of paint to the whole background. This can help with a more in-depth effect. Also feel free to take a look at this video to discover tips on preventing your paint from going gray and creating dreamy depth in your artwork. To enrich the background and add a touch of luxury, I'm adding some glitter paint for the second layer. Specifically, I'm using Vinci watercolor, an older palette that is no longer in production. For this painting, I believe any opaque glitter watercolor paint will work just fine. This time, adding more of the darker green, remembering to avoid the blank areas to maintain the contrast. Once it's fully dried, next step is to paint some white flowers. Now I'm using a thin brush, adding tree branches with dark colors. The color I'm using is an opaque, thick black. We can also try to make it look more natural by slightly varying the thickness of the branches. Next, we can mix some blue, green, and black, or any other dark colors you prefer, to create dark, muted flowers. I've been using this technique for painting flowers a lot, so feel free to check out this video for a larger view of the process. I'm also displaying these 3 easy steps on the screen. Now we can use a watery brush to lift some color in a round shape for a dreamy effect. Before it dries, we can also use a dry napkin to press on the paper, which helps magically lifting unwanted boundaries. Finally, I'm adding some white ink and glitter colors again to create dreamy dots and enhance the final outcome.